These are the Simnet SP Pro load cell pedals. I think that you'll be shocked at their affordable price, their FANATEC compatibility, and how they're seemingly filling the gap of the podium pedals that FANATEC has never made. So here's my review. Made entirely of laser cut steel and powder coated in black, the 3-pedal configuration retails for just $260 and can go higher based on your selections, with my unit here having the base plate and the 3 different haptic motors on each pedal, taking this one up to $486. Though they are similar in design to the Simpson pedals that I reviewed a few months ago, these are 100% unique to a new sim racing company called Simnet, and although they are relatively unknown, they certainly are not messing around. Starting with the heel plate, for many reasons I think this may be one of the best. While I don't think it looks as good as others from like Moza and Conspit, the functionality and adjustability that it does have is extremely commendable. That's because unlike any pedal plate that I've ever seen before, it can be adjusted in tilt, height, and length, this being an actually very smart design. Something that was also unexpected was the RGB strip included for this base plate, which is meant to be wrapped around and give an underglow effect. The RGB strip that comes included I felt was a little bit tacky and felt more like a DIY project, but once I have it set up, seeing that underglow beneath my feet is actually pretty cool. It's worth noting that the lighting effects of this setup can also be configured on SimHub to serve functional purposes such as indicating flags, pit lane speeds, and rev limiters. Now this RGB strip, it definitely doesn't look as professional or neatly integrated as it would on, for example, FANATEC's higher end pedals. However, I think that just the fact that it's included here is a neat touch. Now let's talk about the individual pedals themselves, starting of course with the throttle pedal. Like I've said before, it's hard to mess the throttle pedal up, and Simnet have definitely not done that here. Using it out on track, it is perfectly smooth, has a long travel which can be adjusted to your needs, and I find myself being able to comfortably and accurately modulate my throttle inputs, that of course being the most important thing. Adjustability is also plentiful here. The pedal's height, throttle weight, position of the damper, preload, and front and back position can all be adjusted. As you've also noticed by now, all 3 pedals come included with a damper that gives a slightly stiffer and smoother pedal travel. This can be removed if need be, however, I liked how it gave an additional, very subtle hydraulic feeling to all 3 pedals without being too disruptive. More than just the dampers though, Simnet also offers 3 different haptic motors, all of which carry a slightly different price and perform in different ways. The one on the throttle is called the haptic rumble motor, which delivers intense and powerful vibrations of up to 8,500 RPM, this giving me an immersive feeling of my vehicle increasing in speed, which I personally loved. However, all of the haptic motors on this pedal set are configured via SimHub, where you can make them reflect different things. So I'll talk more about the 2 other haptic transducers soon, but first, the clutch. Looking specifically at the clutch pedal, my experience here has also been as expected. Similar with what I've seen in the past with, for example, the Simpson pedals, there is a feeling of a clutch bite point here that can be drastically changed by making adjustments on the pedal itself. At the configuration that I have it at, the clutch bite point is very subtle to the point that I can feel it, but it's also not distracting. And similar to what I said with the throttle, it's smooth and precise, and the Hall effect sensor in here only helps more with that. Adjustability here is largely the same as on the throttle, except the 3-stage clutch feel can also be further tuned to your liking. The other thing that is also different will be the haptic motor, as this one is the cylindrical pedal tactile transducer, which I didn't like at all. It has a high-pitched noise, significantly more than the other 2, and the feeling that it gives just wasn't very defined. Other than that though, the clutch pedal does exactly what it's supposed to do and feels like the ones included in any other higher end set of pedals.
As always, the brake pedal will be the star of the show, and the one included in this pedal set is good. I'm using it in its stock configuration where it does give a softer feel, albeit the amount of force needed to push down on it is still substantial. Mix that with the thin and non-rounded pedal faces of this pedal set, and to be honest, I haven't been able to use it without shoes. However, with shoes like I have here, there is really not much to complain about. There is tons of adjustability that can be done here. The load cell sensor has made it easy for me to remain consistent and trail brake with ease, and in general, as I usually do with these higher end pedal sets, it's been easy for me to adjust and get comfortable with this brake pedal.
It's also worth noting that an optional $20 spring and spacer kit for this pedal set are available. Now, I don't have that optional kit here for testing, but I would imagine that it could aid in giving a softer pedal feel. But anyways, if you do combine that spring kit with the 9 additional elastomers, you'll have over 300 unique brake pedal combinations, so fine-tuning really will be the name of the game here. Of course, the rumble motor included here on the brake pedal would be the most important of the three. This one is called the haptic linear motor, and I'm happy to say that it does feel really good.
When I'm locking up the brakes, I can physically feel the car giving me that feedback, and although this doesn't feel as realistic as it does with something like the active pedals from Simucube, for the price of this pedal set, the fact that it can give me that type of feedback and give me this level of immersion is extremely impressive, and something that most higher end load cell pedals such as the Moza CRP2s and even the Cube Control SP01s haven't been able to give me.
So now I've covered this product's prices, the base plate, throttle, clutch, and brake pedal, but you'll want to know that one of this product's biggest appeals will also be its FANATEC compatibility. You see, an RJ12 cable is included here, and this will plug into the back of any modern FANATEC base. So the big ticket item is that assuming that your FANATEC wheelbase has either Xbox or PlayStation compatibility, this pedal set will as well.
I think this is literally a huge selling point, as in a way it kind of fills in that gap of the podium pedals that FANATEC has never brought to the market. I also think that many FANATEC users who want to use this on a cockpit will find this option extremely appealing, albeit neither the rumble motors or the RGB functionality are going to be present on consoles since SimHub is not there.
All in all, when you're looking at the price point, the features, the adjustability, and the overall looks of this pedal set, for the money, I think it does give you significant bang for your buck. Nitpicking a little bit, the only major potential drawback of these pedals could be their long-term reliability. Although they have held up perfectly fine throughout the last month or so, these third-party pedal sets, for example something like those from Simpson, historically haven't had a great record when it comes to long-term reliability. Will these follow a similar suit? Well, hopefully not, but it is something worth keeping an eye on.
Overall, Simnet has really left me impressed with these set of pedals, and I honestly think that something like this should be a huge wake-up call for FANATEC, who just recently haven't been giving the community what they've been asking for, and as such, third-party companies like this have been stepping up and delivering.
So with all of that said, this has been my full review on the Simnet Racing SP Pro load cell pedals. As always, let me know your thoughts on this product down in the comments below, and with all of that said, thank you all for watching, stay safe, and have a fantastic rest of your day.